The piano housing is going to hopefully be kind of modern-ish in appearance because I want it to hide all of the plastic so it looks like a piece of furniture, like an acoustic piano. 2 blocks are going to go here, maybe 2 in the front and back as well, just to keep the piano, once you put it in there, where you want it to be. So that all of my seam, where that top comes down and meets the piano, is as flush and perfect as I can get it to be, so that it looks nice. If I leave all that straight grain in there, I'm going to be cutting off right about here, which means about half of my board is going to have curly character grain, and the other half of my board is going to be straight grained. If I go the other way, then I'm going to have about 2/3 of all this character in here, and about here to here of straight grain, and you're less likely to get chip out and things like that when you're working with straight grain. So I have to consider that as like, do I want to go with aesthetics? And I have to be much more careful in my approach. I don't know what I'm going to do yet. I'm probably going to ruminate over this for about 6 or 7 months. My 2 sides are going to get an angle cut in them. So from this corner to this corner, I don't yet know what the angle is going to be because I have to dry fit it and check it against multiple things to make sure I have enough material for the angle. These are left a little bit long for the same reason, because they're part of the top. So if it's a super steep angle, I need more length on this board. So right now I have the whole thing clamped together so that everything is square. Now the way that I checked if it's square, because it's a 3-sided box, basically, I can't just measure corner to corner, because if you measure corner to corner, my front and back could be out of parallel, and corner to corner, that measurement's still the same. Whereas if you have a box, if you've made a box, the only way for corner to corner to be the same is if it's square, because if it's parallelogrammed like that, this measurement's going to be shorter than this measurement. So what I have to do is measure from top to top, bottom to bottom, make sure that's the same, and then also measure corner to corner, and make sure that that is also the same. So if for whatever reason your dowel material doesn't fit your hole very well, which is the case for me, ideally you'd probably just get a bigger dowel rod and shave it down until it fits, but masking tape is going to work just fine. That's all I'm going to do. I'm going to number each of these so that I know that each one fits each hole and I don't run into a problem when it comes to glue up, that some of them kind of fit and some of them are a little too loose, you know. So as you can see here, I've cut all of my dowel pins, got all the masking tape onto them. Now I'm going to do another dry fit and put the piano in here this time, as long as all of this lines up the way it did the last time I did a dry fit. When I measured for this top piece, I measured as if I was butting to here, but I'm not. I'm sitting on top of here. So this piece is now too narrow. So what I'm gonna do, and the reason why I ran this groove the full length, is I'm gonna take a piece of walnut that's about 1 inch and glue that in there. I think that'll actually look better than it would have if the whole thing was maple, so I'm not too upset about that mistake. So this and this can now get cut to their exact widths, because I transferred this line onto the front and the back here. I thought I was going to do the side next, but I'm going to cut that flush once everything is in position. So once this is all done, I'm basically going to do another dry fit, and then I'll mark for the side, and then I'll rough cut to that line, and then glue everything together, and then I'll plane it so that it's perfectly flush. This is a piano hinge, not just because I'm putting it on a piano. That's actually what this is called. This is sometimes called a continuous hinge, but I don't like that name. What you can do with this hinge, from what I understand, is cut it anywhere. Now, you might want to cut it between the joint between each hinge leaf. It's probably just going to look a little neater that way, but I think you can cut it anywhere. No. So I made a big mistake. As I was drilling, I didn't know, but I would come to my depth stop and I was actually blowing through the other side of the board, which is the top of my piano. It's the most visible portion of the piano. So I have two solutions that I've thought of, and one of them is to just fill them. The other option is to cut a groove and inlay basically a pinstripe of walnut. So it would add just a small detail, but not completely change and alter the look of the top. All in all, I don't know, but I'm pretty upset. Okay, so at this point in the video, the box is basically done, but in the next video, I'm gonna have to glue the whole thing together, trim up everything afterwards, glue all the felt to it, make all 4 legs, make that walnut strip that I mentioned earlier in this video, make the felt dust cover, do all of the finishing, and probably some other stuff that I'm forgetting.